Check it out. So today we've got the Xreal 1S, the Xreal Neo, and then I've also got a pair of Hans VR prescription lenses for the 1S that we're going to be checking out today. We're going to go ahead and start by opening the 1S box. So let's talk about the 1S while we pry open this box. The Xreal 1S is a follow-up of the Xreal 1 and 1 Pro. This is a replacement for the base Xreal 1, and they're not only going to come in at $50 cheaper than Xreal 1, but they also feature a bunch of little upgrades. So Xreal has once again updated the case design a little bit. This is a slightly smaller case, but it still does not have the pocket inside for the cable like Viture glasses do. The only thing in the case itself is the braided cable, which I love. This is going to feature the same angled plug, so it's still a USB-C on both ends, but the part that plugs into the glasses is slightly angled and connects in the back. We'll go over that in just a second. Now, for the glasses themselves, these glasses are a slight upgrade over the Xreal 1, like I said before, and these are going to offer a slightly lighter weight, so they're 2 grams lighter than Xreal 1. They are 100 nits brighter, so they're now 700 nits versus the 600 nits of Xreal 1. That actually puts them on par with Xreal 1 Pro. Xreal says that this one has improved durability because the USB port is reinforced. It's still got the same great X1 chip inside, which means that it can do spatial anchoring. And now the chip has also been upgraded with a new firmware that enables what Xreal calls Real 3D. Now, Real 3D is a competitor to Viture's Immersive 3D, but the trick is that this doesn't require any additional software to be able to turn 2D content into 3D. I'll be testing that in a future video and comparing it to Viture's solution, but at least on paper, it sounds like the Xreal one is probably the winner. We will of course have to see how the quality is and if it compares to Viture's, because I really do love that Immersive 3D solution, even if the software is a bit clunky. The glasses themselves look pretty similar to Xreal 1's, although they have this really nice blue hue to them. I like that better than the black of the regular Xreal 1's. It's actually almost got like a slight purple tint to it. But in general, it's really cool looking. They feature birdbath optics. There's nothing particularly special here. It's not the prism lenses of the Xreal 1 Pros. And if we compare them to the Viture Beast, which is the current competition, you can see the overall size and shape are pretty comparable. I'd say the Xreal 1's are slightly larger. Viture Beast has an additional camera in the middle, which after speaking with Viture, I realized that that is used for 6 DOF. It's not currently enabled, but it will work sometime in the future, whereas Xreal 1S only has 3 DOF and does not have a camera built in. Now, of course, you can get the Xreal Eye, which plugs into this little port down here. I have a separate video on that, and that will enable native 6 DOF on everything without having to have additional software. So again, that is typically one of the biggest differences between Xreal glasses and Viture glasses, is that Viture typically needs software for some of those additional features, whereas the Xreal 1 line is working on getting everything working in glasses without additional software or any configuration needed. Now, another thing that's really cool about Xreal glasses is these frames pop off. So you can get different types of frames for them. It just pops right off. You can snap a new one on. This is the default that comes with this color. They're really, really easy to pop on and off. I've never had these fall off, but I definitely feel like there's a possibility if you drop it that this could either crack or fall off. This bottom part is definitely a weak point of the design, but I do like that there is built-in customization to these without having to add a sticker or debrand skin or something like that on top of it. That's just a great design. Again, with the optics, so Viture has more of a prism type lens here. They have confirmed to me that it is more like a prism lens, whereas again, the 1S uses your standard birdbath optics with this angled design here. The downside to traditional birdbath optics is that you can see reflections of things below it, as you can see there, whereas on the prism lenses, there is nothing to reflect below it. So if you have a white shirt on or something else bright below you, that may get picked up on birdbath lenses, whereas a prism type lens on the Viture Beast or the Xreal 1 Pro will help negate that problem. Now, Xreal puts its connector on the left side, which I actually really prefer because, at least for my laptop, the USB port is on the left side, whereas Viture's port is on the right side, and that's a little less convenient for most of the devices I use. Now let's take a look at what else is in this box. we've got the onboarding tutorial here, the little safety instructions, and then there's a couple different nose pad sizes on here. It does not seem like this comes with different nose pad shapes. It's just different sizes. So this is mainly to swap out these little rubber nose pieces if you need a slightly larger or slightly smaller piece, whereas the Viture ones come with different shape nose guards to fit different size faces. All right, now if you order lenses from Hans VR, they can fit most prescriptions. They all come with a nice little microfiber cloth. They've got the prescription itself that shows you on here, and then the lenses are going to pop right into the Xreal One glasses. Now, this prescription lens design is pretty familiar to anybody who has ever had a pair of XR glasses. They're pretty much all the same. You can see that they are pretty similar to the ones on the Viture glasses, just a slightly different shape to fit the different lens shape on the Xreal versus the Viture ones. But the actual mechanism of plugging them into your glasses remains the same. There are a number of ways you could remove these little rubber pads, but I think grabbing a pair of tweezers is probably the easiest. And we can just pop these out one by one. There's one on each side for the connector. There we go. All right, and then once you have removed those, you can just pop the prescription frames right in. Just snap right in there like that. And now you have your prescription lenses on your Xreal One S. I like the fact that these extend a little bit past the birdbath lenses, because then you can be assured that you have 100% coverage for your prescription. Now again, something worth noting is that if you compare it to a pair of glasses like Xreal One Pro or the Viture Beasts with prescription lenses attached, you're going to have a bit of a gap on the Xreal One S between the birdbath optics and your prescription lens, whereas the prism style lenses, that prescription lens is going to go right up against the material there. Looks like the prescription frames get in the way a little bit of the glasses closing completely, which I'm not a huge fan of. Now let's check out some of the other stuff that we've got here today. I don't ever really know what to do with the cable on Xreal glasses. Again, that's like one of my pet peeves with their cases, but I suppose I could just go in there and you can take that with you to go. Now, I'm going to check out Xreal Neo. Now this is Xreal's solution for when you're tethering to particularly a Nintendo Switch, since Nintendo Switch requires something special to connect glasses to. But this will also work really well for a Steam Deck, a Legion Go, something like that. That is a portable gaming machine where maybe you need an additional battery if you're going on like a long flight or something like that. Or just a better way to connect your glasses to the system. Now, Xreal has had several of these types of products over the years where you have like a battery or a dock of some kind and then a cable that you connect to your glasses, some other outputs. So this one has like a charging port. This one's got a place where you put your glasses, and then of course the USB-C port where you're going to connect to your system. Another one they've had recently is the Beam Pro. This one enabled spatial capture with these two lenses on the back that have eye-like spacing between them. And this is essentially an Android phone without a cell modem in it, whereas this is just a glorified battery / dock. It's going to connect to your device and let you play for longer periods of time. Also allow you to plug your Xreal glasses into a Nintendo Switch. One of the other cool things is this has a kickstand built in, which is nice for when you are just putting the Switch or something like that on a table, and it's an easy way to just play on the go. The other things included in this box are these little sort of MagSafe rings, and those are going to connect to this piece here. So these rings actually will go on the back of a system. It's pretty much your typical MagSafe ring adapter. It's just a little metal ring with a sticky solution on the back, and you can put that on the back of your Switch, your Steam Deck, anything like that that you want to connect to this thing directly. So for the Switch 2, for instance, you need the different shape because this part is going to go on the kickstand since the kickstand flips up. And that way the ring doesn't prevent you from using your kickstand when you're not using the dock. So that's a really nice little design. Viture's dock is a little bit different. So you can see the size difference here between these two. Viture's has the capability of using two glasses at once, whereas Xreal's just has a single glasses port. So that is an advantage for Viture for sure. And then Viture also has this HDMI port, so that's additional capability that the Xreal dock does not have. Now Viture's comes with this mount, and this is actually going to clip on the back of your system and hang there, so you can use it that way when you're holding it. Maybe this feels like a little bit more of a low-tech solution versus the magnetic adapter that this will be able to use on the Xreal Neo. I will have another video going over the differences between those and the experience that you can expect, which one's better, which one has more features, or something like that. But for now, that's it for the Xreal One S. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content, and I'll see you in the next one.